You are the executive director of the National Black Growers Council. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us about the organization and its history and your role within it.
Okay. Um, the organization, National Black Growers Council, I probably need to tell you that the National Black Growers Council did not set out to be the National Black Growers Council as we know it today.
Okay.
So I'll take you back to 2006. I was a product manager in Monsanto's cotton group, working on developing germplasm and putting traits in them that would hopefully be attractive to farmers, and we were trying to gain market share because at the time we did not own a cottonseed company. So in the middle of all that, we had an opportunity again to purchase Delta Pine, which is a cottonseed company. And of course, this is a pretty large acquisition, so all these different concerns started coming in. And one of the concerns that came in was that if Monsanto bought Delta Pine, it would be, and I remember the word that was used was catastrophic. It would be catastrophic for black farmers because you would have the largest trade company purchasing the largest seed company, and it would just force these small black farmers to buy this high priced seed, and it would just be terrible. And I'm like, well, in the conversations and work that I've done with black farmers, that's not my experience, but let's see what there is to it. And so we reasoned that if someone was going to have a vested opinion, it would be a black cotton farmer because they were growing cotton. They didn't necessarily have to be our customers, but that's who I initially reached out to. And I knew several. But early in the discussion, you figure out that the message that had been put in the media wasn't accurate. That wasn't the concern of black cotton farmers. In fact, their concerns were really no different than our white farmer customers. But then what do we do with this information? So instead of reacting to what was an incorrect assumption that was put in the media, we decided as a company that we decided to create this group of black growers that could serve us in an advisory capacity on this acquisition, plus on other issues that are yet to be determined, but bound to come. And so that's what we set out to do. We wanted to do it the right way, so we took about 18 months and had personal conversations with about a dozen growers across the South and talked to them about their willingness to serve in this advisory capacity. So after 18 months, we brought them together to our world headquarters for a 2-day meeting. The majority of the people in the room realized that this organization had a larger purpose. It could not be restricted to a single company. It really needed a larger platform. It really needed to be an independent organization. On that second day, about mid-morning, we kind of readjusted the agenda. And we went from Monsanto's Black Grower Advisory Council. We actually named the group then National Black Growers Council. And we spent the rest of the morning coming up with a mission statement. And we spent the afternoon talking about some of the things that it could be doing.
So you came back to Monsanto, like
yeah.
I guess
so
what we
no,
did.
I was one of the Monsanto managers in the room that was saying, okay, that's not what we had in mind, but it makes so much sense that I'm going to go along with it. And so we walked away, Jason, with a mission statement, a name, and I served as the initial advisor to this newly formed National Black Growers Council.
You recently quoted in an article for a progressive farmer about agriculture and social justice and the issue of race and criminal justice that has been on the forefront recently.
Yes.
Tell us what you think is important to address the topic and your thoughts on the challenges facing black farmers and issues of race in agriculture.
Since the tragic death of Mr. Floyd, George Floyd in Minnesota, I've gotten more comfortable talking about this very uncomfortable topic, but it's one that needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
So, as executive director of the council, we had several discussions about our response to the conditions that were prevalent in America.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, this was a national thing, and I love farming. It's a capital-intensive profession. It's long days. It's dusty. It's hot. It's sweaty. It's all of that. But I love farming. And there's a lot of other people that love farming, and a lot of them happen to be black. But when you can't get a fair shake, and when I say a fair shake, I mean equal and equitable access to capital, resources, information. Think about what happens when a person sitting across from you makes a conscious decision that I'm going to withhold information or services from you because of the color of your skin. And when you do that in a capital intensive profession like agriculture, it starts to build up. It starts to have a cumulative effect. And until we address the chronic and cumulative effects of being historically denied access, we're going to continue to have problems with this economic need that's on the necks of black farmers. About 2% of the U.S. population is actively engaged in farming. And I should say only about 2%. And less than 1%, slightly under 1% of the 2% are black. But there's also trends out there saying that the average farmer now manages more acres, feeds more people, clothes more people, and that number keeps going up, so we're getting more efficient. As an executive director of the National Black Growers Council, I need to make sure that a certain percentage of our members are capable of following the trends of modern agriculture. So if farmers are doing more and getting bigger, a certain percentage of us need to be ready to get larger and follow the trends of modern agriculture. Because if you're already less than 1% and you're not following the trends, that 1% is going to diminish to the point that you just might become extinct. And the thing that scares me more than having a few calluses on my hand is the fact that someday, 20, 30, 50, 100 years from now, there would be no more black farms. We would lose a rich source of diversity. The diversity that we have in agriculture, the fact that we have black folk actively engaged in agriculture, is pretty important. It's going to be pretty important going forward. We need to do our part.
Okay. Well, Dr. Goldmon, thank you for taking some time to speak with us. Again, we're here with Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation, and we'll see you next time. Right now, we're going to go check out the farm.
Thank you. Let's go.